Okay, we can all agree that Link is a twink, right? Well, even if you didn't, the sister of user FunAOE24 thought so and changed her Switch 2 profile name to Twink Link. But apparently Nintendo didn't like that, because guess what they did? They banned the entire console.
Luckily, the user was able to fix the issue by talking to customer support, but only after getting humiliated and laughed at for the name. So this has a good ending, but maybe think twice before naming your Switch profile something like Tingle Daddy, because that'll likely get you banned.
But welcome to Necro News, the show where we cover the hottest gaming news from the last week. This week we'll be covering Stop Killing Games, Brazil versus Nintendo, the Microsoft Massacre, and a lot more.
So like the video and subscribe to stay up to date on the hottest gaming news.
Speaking of Nintendo, it looks like the changes Nintendo made to the EULA back in May may receive legal action in Brazil. That's because when they changed the EULA to allow them to brick your console, they violated consumer protection laws in Brazil, something that the Sao Paulo branch of Brazil's Consumer Protection and Defense is not okay with.
The branch filed a request to Nintendo asking for the EULA to be changed so that the clause allowing them to brick the console is removed. Will Nintendo listen? No, probably not. But in the case that they do listen within the next 20 days, one of two things is going to happen. Nintendo makes changes to the device EULA, no legal action takes place, and Nindy can't break your system. Or, more likely, Switch 2s no longer get sold in Brazil.
Isn't there a third option where the EULA just changes in Brazil and that's it?
I don't think that's how EULAs work. Is that how EULAs work?
I wouldn't be surprised if they can change it from country to country, but...
Oh, I don't know. Hey, do you guys know? Let us know, because we don't know.
Whatever the case may be, Vai Brazil! As previously covered on Necro News, the Stop Killing Games petition had seen a surge of signatures since the release of Ross's video, highlighting the deadline for both the UK and EU signatures, which were set to end during July. I say surge, but that might be an understatement, as they didn't just meet the 1 million signature goal, they surpassed it with 1.2 million instead.
Because of Charlie and other content creators covering the movement, the UK British Parliament and the EU Commission now have to discuss the matter of the petition and to discuss changes in law that could stop companies killing games. Who would have thought that internet drama could be so productive? Thanks, Thor.
After the petition reached the 1 million signature goal, Ross posted an update video regarding the status of the petition. He was concerned that while the ECI petition had reached the necessary signatures, there might be issues depending on the amount of invalid signatures which contributed to it. But like we said earlier, it did reach 1.2 million instead of the 1 million, so theoretically it should be okay.
However, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And so the Legion of Doom conspired against the common man.
What Booster means is that the lobby Video Games Europe came forward to combat the petition. According to the collective of people from companies such as WB Games, EA, Ubisoft, Nintendo, and other high-profile studios, quote, "We appreciate the passion of our community, however, the decision to discontinue online services is multifaceted, never taken lightly, and must be an option for companies when an online experience is no longer commercially viable."
You know, instead of giving us peer-to-peer games or just distributing the server tools, as many other games have done in the past, but hey, whatever. I'd be worried if it wasn't so comical that this entire thing was led by WB Games, who killed multiverses. But that's just our opinion. What do you guys think? Are you hopeful for the future? Are you hopeful for the future?
I think so. I'm pretty sure the EU has a pretty good track record defending consumers.
They did the loot box thing, I think. I don't remember.
They also took up shit with Apple, so...
Why were these banned? I don't know. If you look at the fucking mods for Skyrim, you got bestiality. Well, that aged poorly. Looks like the change in ownership at Nexus Mods 2 weeks ago is not the reason that select Stellar Blade mods were removed. And they are just the first of many. It's because of the UK.
Damn the British and damn their taxes! Look, there's one now! Let's get it!
Yep, a community update in regards to changes on Nexus Mods was posted on July 1st, and according to the team, due to changes in the UK where Nexus Mods is hosted, and EU law, changes needed to take place on the site because of the Online Safety Act in the UK and the Digital Services Act in the EU. And these affect Nexus Mods due to both laws dealing in some part with the regulation of pornographic material online.
The law leaves two options for the website to remain online. 1. Remove all adult content. Or 2, make adjustments to the policy, including adding age verification for some adult content. The option Nexus Mods went with is 2, adding age verification. Mostly because lewd mods are still an integral part of the site, according to them, but that means that in the future, UK and EU-based users will be required to submit age verification through the form of identification to view and download adult mods. And the mods will be broken down into further categories for tagging, like mpreg and breeding.
It's your vulnerable Pokemon everywhere!
Vulnerable Pokemon?
Just imagine if there was a leak and finding out your best friend downloaded the mpreg mods or something. But anyway, going forward, all adult mods will need to be scanned to ensure they don't contain any illegal content, along with an update to the legal language and what constitutes allowable content on the site, and an update to blocking features.
There are other mod sites. I expect that Nexus Mods will see a fall fairly soon.
Eat a big dick if I told you so for everyone who kept posting that it was all woke shit. Told you guys there was more to it than that. A lot of Microsoft employees were concerned that they would be laid off in the beginning of July, as that's when their fiscal year starts, and the rumors of Microsoft doing massive layoffs were not unfounded. Can you guys guess just how many people got laid off?
It's over 9,000!
Come on, we literally couldn't not do the meme.
What, 9,000? There's no way that can be right!
Yeah, over 9,000 employees have been laid off in total across the entirety of Microsoft, including Xbox Game Studios, which itself is seeing massive layoffs. Turn 10 Studios, the company behind Forza, lost 50% of its workforce, and if that wasn't bad enough, multiple games were cancelled. The Perfect Dark reboot was cancelled, and the dev team behind it, The Initiative, is gone. Blackbird, a new Destiny-like MMO by the team behind Elder Scrolls Online, was cancelled. Rare's Everwild was cancelled. Future planned content for Warcraft Rumble, gone. And finally, Romero Games lost its funding for an unannounced FPS game thanks to the layoffs. So yeah, good job, Microsoft. Buying Blizzard, really, that's working out for you.
And in addition, Greg Mayles, director and designer of Sea of Thieves and Banjo-Kazooie, announced he would be departing due to the cancellation of Everwild. Matt Firer, president of ZeniMax, is leaving. And finally, Phil Spencer has been rumored to be retiring after the launch of the next-gen Xbox consoles, although he personally denied this.
But Microsoft is one of the good guys, right? I mean, they must have helped people find new jobs. No, of course not. Matt Turnbull, the executive producer at Xbox, gave advice via a LinkedIn post to anyone facing the job loss by giving people prompts to use in ChatGPT to help navigate the sorrows of losing a job.
When did anyone say Microsoft was one of the good guys?
I did, like 3 years ago. I said they had the chance to be a good guy.
Looks like they lost that chance.
Enough of the bad news, we've got good news. The previously lost, or cancelled, depending on how you look at it, Animaniacs GBA game called Hollywood Hypnotic was found by a Hidden Palace user, Mr. Pinball64. He had found the cartridge with a prototype of the game.
For anyone hearing about this game for the first time, here's a TLDR. The game had initially started development with Full Fat Productions back in 2000 with a contract by publisher Conspiracy Entertainment, but development had been shelved after Full Fat decided to pursue other contracts with other publishers. Later on, publisher Swing Entertainment contacted Full Fat to develop an Animaniacs game for the GBA, which commenced with development of the game from scratch.
Due to issues with contractual payments based on dev milestones and Swing Entertainment entering insolvency the year the game was supposed to be released, production was shelved once more, which led to the version we have now. It's completely playable from start to finish, barring a few bugs, glitches, and other issues which could have gotten patched out in a fully released game. But as a bonus, the cartridge also had prototype builds of Justice League Chronicles and a prototype for the GBA port of Freestyle. So if you care, there you go.
This week's Spirit Alive Banger, a segment where we cover a game that our community doesn't think has had enough attention, are actually two games, since they're both up for grabs during the Steam Summer Sale. The first is Dread Delusion. According to Booster, the game is another open-world dark fantasy game set in a low-poly world with tons of exploration between floating islands and a deep 50-hour main story.
It's a pretty fun game. I like it, and I figured you guys would like it as well. We have another one, this one coming from Skull. It's a 6 degree of freedom shooter called Desecrators. It's basically exactly what you would expect from the genre, a 90s inspired 6 DoF game. It's not a style I personally like, but it has a ton of cool weapons, and overall the aesthetic is pretty sweet. It's a game that got Skull off of Space Station 14, so it's probably pretty good, even though I don't like that style, but hey, let us know what you think.
And here are the games coming out this week. There's Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4, as well as Patapon Relay.
Here's our schedule for the week. Aside from the same Elden Ring, I'll also be doing a collab with a good buddy of mine. We'll also be doing our membership fighting game stream this weekend, playing Idle Showdown.
That's it for this week's news. Thank you so much for watching, and if you made it this far into the video, be sure to put a devil face because of Video Games Europe.
And thank you to our channel members for supporting us. If you want to take part in the fighting game tournament this weekend, become a member. It helps the channel grow and you'll get to kick my ass.
That's all we have for you this week, so until next time,
Goodbye.